This is a bit tricky, holding the camera in one hand and this gorgeous little dream catcher in the other. I'm Julie from Julie Davis Flower Workshops and Flower Start, the online flower arranging classes. Come with me and I'll show you how I made this gorgeous work of art. For this project you'll need a metal hoop. I've got some thin crochet yarn here, and you'll also need some wool to make your own little pom-poms and some lovely ribbons. So I've got a combination of lots of pink ribbons, different sizes, lengths and widths, a bit of cream wool to tone in, and these are the pom-pom makers I'm going to be using. So I'll put that all away and show you how I get started. First of all, tie on your cotton yarn. It could be string or anything else you've got to hand. Nice and secure. And then the easiest thing I found is about starting off there at the top and go diagonally across and wrap the yarn around. So you've got a double fixing there. You'll find that if you're using a smooth hoop, your yarn might slip around quite a lot. So I'm going from one side to the other, one side to the other. I might cut off some of that yarn now, it's getting in my way a little bit. And every time you go across, just go round the hoop just to secure it in place. And don't pull too tightly. If you've got a thin hoop like me, you may find you distort the shape and it ends up being more oval than keeping its round shape. I'm going to tie off here and add on another piece. And once you've got the basic spokes on there, you could start going in different directions as well, just so it takes on a more organic form. When you're happy with the pattern you've created, tie off and cut off all the other loose ends. And if you're worried about any of the ends slipping and sliding around your hoop, you could always use a dab of hot glue just to hold them in place. Let the glue dry and then you're ready for step 2. Once your glue is dry, you can add in your ribbons. So I've got a variety of ribbons here, different makes, patterns, widths and lengths. So fold your ribbons in half, thread the loop underneath the frame and then push the loose ends through. And you can add as many or as few as you like. I've concentrated my ribbons in just one small section of the hoop, and you can imagine those all fluttering in the breeze. The next stage is to make your pom-poms. This gadget is so handy for making pom-poms. It is really quick. It probably takes 3 to 4 minutes to make each one. So start off by opening out the pom-pom maker and winding your wool around it, and wind and wind and wind until you can't fit any more on it. Then snap that half back into the main casing and then flip out the other side and start again. Continue until that side is really full. Snap the little maker together and then you'll need a really sharp pair of scissors. So carefully push your scissors down between the 2 halves of the pom-pom maker, the little groove that'll guide you, and making sure you hold tight so everything doesn't fall apart. Make your way through all those layers of wool. And when you've done the first side, turn the pom-pom maker over and repeat on the other side. As I say, really, really hold the pom-pom maker together so things don't fall apart. Then when you've done that, you'll need to get a piece of wool to tie around the middle of the pom-pom so that fits down the groove between the two halves. And you need to pull this really, really securely. If it's too loose, your pom-pom will just fall apart. But if your wool is quite brittle, as you pull it, it'll snap, so you might need a double layer. So, as I say, pull it really tight and tighten a secure knot. Once you're happy that that's all firm, tie a knot off. And the next thing to do is to release the pom-pom maker, so slide out the coloured sections from both sides, using the little lip to guide you which way they hinge, and then hold the white centre of the pom-pom maker and pull it apart. That can be quite tricky, that bit. And fluff it up, and then you need to look through and see whether there's any stray pieces of wool that need to be cut through, just to even things out a little bit. You can keep your pom-pom quite woolly and fluffy like this, or really, really give it a severe haircut so it ends up as a much more compact ball. So it depends what kind of shape and texture you like. Here I'm going to be really, really brave and trim off a lot of the wool. I'm probably going down at least 1 centimetre, and again you need a really sharp pair of scissors for this, or to regularly clean off the fluff so they continue working. And you can see that mound of wool that I cut off. Give it one last roll through on your fingers and cut off any final last stray bits of wool. I've made about 7 pom-poms for this project. The next job is to add your pom-poms to your hoops. So I have made 2, 4, 6, 7 pom-poms in different sizes. I'm going to start with my most colourful one and just position it where I might want it to go. So I'm going to have that in the centre, and then take the smaller ones, there's just a tiny bit of colour, out towards the edges, and then finishing off with my smallest ones and the plainest ones out towards the side. I'm putting these just above my ribbon edging here, but you could put them in any part of the hoop you liked, or you might want to go all the way around, or even mound some of your pom-poms on top of each other to get a really clustered look. The easiest way to attach your pom-poms is to use a hot glue gun. If you feel your pom-poms need a bit more glue for security, you can dab a bit of glue between each one, and then finally turn it over and glue across the back edge just to hold everything in place.